Want to advertise your business in a cost-effective way? It's time to give podcast advertising a try. Research shows a high rate of podcast listeners made a purchase as a result of an ad they heard on a podcast. Visit podbean.com/brands to launch a cost-effective podcast advertising campaign in minutes. That's podbean.com/brands.
The Out of Bounds Show podcast is brought to you by Boar's Head, premium meats, cheeses, and hummus. Boar's Head, compromise elsewhere. Jordy Culotta, LSU insider, on the Out of Bounds Show. Do you think that Scott Woodward, it doesn't matter now because it's still a phenomenal hire, but it's just fun to talk about. Do you think he thought he had Lincoln Riley? How do you think that played out?
I think
Jordy?
Brody Miller offered some really good insight to it on his latest article over at The Athletic. And if you read it, I think that there was a lot of stuff that was moving around Lincoln Riley the past 2 weeks. And LSU got on a plane with anticipation of going to meet him. And that meeting never happened. According to some people with some pretty good information around just kind of the last couple of weeks with Lincoln Riley. I think that, when Woodward found out that Riley was on the market, that, he knew he was going to make an aggressive play, but, come to find out it was really about Riley just using LSU and Oklahoma for leverage against USC's. He wanted to get out of the Southeastern Conference, and, it was a meeting that I was told never actually happened, that there was some smoke around them really talking and trying to get together, but when it came down to it, they never met. And, I believe Woodward thinks to himself, if he was ever able to sit in front of Riley's face, that he would have convinced him, just like I think would happen to Kelly, because, judging by some reports and talking to some people that have been close to it, Kelly was one of the first calls. He was somebody that Woodward reached out to just to gauge some interest in, and, Kelly kicked the tires and called some high school coaches around Louisiana and called some people within the industry that, that were tied to LSU or just had some familiar advice that they could give on LSU. And, I think Kelly called back Woodward and told him that he was going to pass on it, that, it was kind of a soft no. And I think Woodward the entire time in the back of his mind was kind of thinking, hey, if I, swing for the fences on guys like Jimbo and Lincoln and come up with, empty-handed, I'm just going to go back and put the full court press on Brian Kelly. And I think that's what happened over the last 72 hours when, he saw some things kind of starting to shake out. He said, you know what, this is my guy. I'm needling in on him, and I'm going to get him, and I'm not going to let him tell me no.